ask you something, guys. Did anyone else walk into anyone else's place and start telling them where to move things and saying, I don't like this and you should do this? Like, I have a whiteboard at home and she's going around writing things on there, what I should change.
No.
I don't know how I feel about, Dave buying Jamie a perfume for $400. Is he trying to bribe her into forgiving him or making her forget everything that they've been through? Or what is it? I'm still on the fence with that. And then Beth and TJ, they should have just parted ways, because this storyline, we've seen this before with Jamie and Dave, and I really wish we could have a change in storyline. For him to continue to call her babe, maybe it's a pet name that they use on one another. I don't know. I wish that would be clarified for us. And also, I'm here for Ryan finally having a backbone and standing up for himself and saying enough is enough. Yes, he apologizes for the tone in which his friend spoke to Jackie, but at the end of the day, they were protecting him, and Jackie is out of tricks. I think she's pulled every trick in the bag, and this time I don't think it's going to work. Her only hope of staying is if she writes stay and he writes leave. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 12, Episode 32. I really wish we had a continuation of the conversation between Jackie and Ryan's friends, but we're already skipping to a new episode, so it's the dinner party, the second from last, and everyone is getting ready. They're excited. Well, the happy couples are excited. The other couples, not so good, because I think the happy couples at this moment, it's only Jamie and Dave, Afina and Adrian, and Jeff and Ree. With Karina and Paul, I don't know what's going on there, and the other two couples are a dumpster fire, so it's going to be a hot mess. Karina and Paul, they're excited, they're getting ready, they're very giddy, and it's like I don't know how I feel about them, because their homestays didn't make any sense personally, in my opinion, because we didn't get to see them meet up with Paul's family. Yes, we did get to see them meet up with the mom and the dad for Karina's family and have that conversation about Christianity and the importance of religion, but I would have loved to see the other side, to see how Paul's family were receptive of Karina, or Paul's friends were receptive of Karina. We have Ree and Jeff. Ree and Jeff are in the best space in the experiment, in my opinion. They haven't really had any issues as a couple. They've had issues with people outside of their couple, but as a couple, they've been the strongest in this whole experience. Jeff gave Ree a key during homestays, so she's giddy and excited, and he told her you can pop in anytime. So to me, that shows that this man is already looking at life after the experiment. This man is already planning on what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of months they moved in together and they're still living together, because they seem to have had the most amazing relationship. And I think partly it's because Ree is not confrontational and Jeff is an easygoing guy as well. So this is why I think is one of their strongest points. You have Afina and Adrian. Afina and Adrian have decided to bury their heads in the sand and say they had the most amazing, home visit. When we saw the confrontation with, Cleo, so I don't get how we went from that confrontation with Cleo to suddenly they're in the best of spaces. We didn't get to see Afina meet Adrian's family. I don't know whether it was a point made that the family didn't want to meet up with her or what happened there. I would have loved to see that interaction given what happened during the family visit. Jamie and Dave is pulling out all the stops. He's bought Jamie a perfume for $400. I am a perfume girly, so I really love very good scents. So I'm happy for her. I didn't get to see the name, so I don't know what brand he bought for her. But he's really going all out to try and prove himself, to really try and prove that he really likes her. I don't know whether it's because his family spoke to him or whether he's finding out that his dad was doing very well, has suddenly made him turn his head and decide to focus on Jamie. But I hope he continues to put in the effort, because she seems to be great for him. You have TJ and Beth. TJ and Beth are struggling. They are the ones that are now saddled with the label of there's no emotional connection. And so I don't know how long we're going to play out this emotional connection thingy, because we all know that they had an issue at the commitment ceremony. Whether TJ took it to mean that he has to, when Alexandra asked him, what about her needs, whether he took it as him having to perform in order to keep her happy, or whether he did it because he wanted to, I don't get it. And this is why there's mixed signals. Beth has taken off her ring. they have this conversation about, shall we walk in together or shall we walk in separately? And then they decide to walk in together. And it's like, this is a lot of mixed signals. Are we in a happy space? Are we not in a happy space? Are we going to discuss our issues? Are we not going to discuss our issues? What I don't quite understand about the Beth and TJ situation is when Dave was saying the same thing, Beth and TJ were calling him out and were happy that Jamie was standing up. So how then did they sort of have them for Dave, and yet TJ is doing the same thing? I don't quite understand it. Is he doing it because he doesn't have feelings for her, or is he doing it because they want some airtime? You have Jackie and Ryan, they're in separate apartments. Ryan, obviously, he disagrees with his friends yelling at his wife, but at the end of the day, the substance of what they said, he doesn't disagree with. He said he doesn't like raised voices. Jackie feels some type of way about being confronted by Ryan's friends, so she wants an apology. And it's like, Jackie, these people were calling you out on things that you did. You wrote a 2-page letter. You tried to retrain his dog because what he did with his dog didn't align with you. So the audacity to say you want an apology doesn't make sense. You didn't do anything wrong. Jeff is still reeling. His head is still reeling from the letter you wrote. So I don't understand how you can say you didn't do anything wrong. If somebody who the letter wasn't targeted for is upset by the letter, I can only imagine the person who the letter was written for, how he must feel. So you need to sit down with yourself. You need to take a moment and ask yourself, what did I do? You need to go and read your letter and ask yourself, if somebody wrote this letter to me, how would I feel? So for Jackie to go in looking for an apology doesn't make sense. I hope Ryan, this is his moment to say, I'm done. It's time to go. He has stayed in this experiment. He's tested his patience. He's tried to conform. Although Jamie says he doesn't compromise, he's tried his best, in my opinion. Yes, there are things he hasn't compromised on, but the majority, him staying in the experiment, him putting up with her tantrums and her tears, that says it's someone who's willing to compromise, someone who's willing to grow and learn. So I can't wait to see what happens during the dinner party. So first to arrive are Afina and Adrian. Afina and Adrian are on cloud 9. To them, this is their honeymoon. They're back on their honeymoon phase, and sadly, things are going to fall apart soon when, they start talking about family and loved ones, because there's still the issue of Afina's child. I'll continue to bring this up. They are followed in by Jeff and Ree. Jeff and Ree are the poster children for this season. Paul and Karina thought they were going to be the poster child, but sadly it's Jeff and Ree. Jeff and Ree have been smooth sailing. They tell everyone they're happy. Their homestays went way better than they expected, and they actually seem to do way better this time round. So they're in a very good space. They're giddy, they're excited, they're happy. Next up is Jamie and Dave. Jamie and Dave are in a good space because obviously they've managed to work on the issues that they had. You have Dave telling people, that his dad is doing much better. Jamie was able to meet his dad, and Jamie talks about the presents that he's bought her and how he's trying to be romantic, the romantic gestures. And everyone is excited. Even Jeff is excited for Dave, especially when he hears about the news about the dad, because I think this was a very sticking point for them. And I think he was very stressed about it, and this could have contributed to the issues in his relationship. So to hear that they've overcome this and they're still working on their relationship, everyone is excited for them. Next in, we have Karina and Paul. Am I the only one, or did anyone else see Karina and Paul walk in and Jamie actually go and hug Karina? It's like, if you're going to show us people fighting, then show us people making up, because it doesn't make sense for you to sort of try and block them out and mute their mics and not have us hear what they're saying when you were very able and capable of showing us their fights. So show us their fights and show us their makeouts. That way we can see that the issues are over. So Karina and Paul are happy. Karina is telling everyone her family now sees Paul as one of their children. They're very excited, they're welcoming, and they're happy he's part of the family. And it's like, well, why don't you tell them about the religious stuff? They're followed in by Beth and TJ. Beth and TJ are very oaks galore, because at the end of the day, Beth is still feeling some type of way about the comments that were made by TJ during homestays. The experts can't seem to sort of understand what's going on between the two. Then you have Beth tell the girls that, well, during homestays, TJ was asked by my family that, do you see this working after the experiment? And he sort of gave them hope. And then with his friends, he said, no, I don't see anything working. And so it's now an issue whereby what happens after the experiment? What happens in regards, do they make up and sort of keep it stepping, or are they still stuck in this space whereby they don't know what to do? the girls are feeling some type of way about the comment. The guys haven't really said anything, so we don't know what's happening there unless it's been edited out and it's going to be sort of played as part of the main dinner party. You have Jackie walking on her own. Everyone is taken aback that Jackie's walked in on her own. Jeff serves her a drink. I think Jeff has a soft spot for Jackie. I don't think he likes her romantically, but I think he just likes her as a human being and tries to be nice to her. So he pours her a glass of wine. She's excited with the glass of wine. She then sits down with everyone and starts telling everyone about her traumatic time during homestays. She says apparently when they went to her home, everything was great. Ryan took her on a date. Ryan bought her flowers and everything was fine. But then when they got to his place, she talks about the friends yelling at her and the friends bringing up the letter. And as soon as she brings up the letter, you see Jeff's face drop because Jeff actually heard the letter before Ryan did. And so for her to say, I didn't say I was better than him, I didn't say anything about his finances, and Jeff is thinking, you did. I heard you say it. You read the letter to me. It's like Jackie has no self-awareness. Jackie has no ability to self-reflect, and this is one of her biggest problems. Because if she could self-reflect, then she would be in a better place. She could be a better person. But because she can't self-reflect, and because she can't sort of work on herself and the issues that she has, this is why she has a problem. Because you have her venting to everyone and everyone is just staring at her blankly, and then Ryan is sitting in the car and is saying, this was the breaking point, this was the final straw that broke the camel's back, because everything she did was unacceptable. And for Jackie not to understand what she did and how she did it doesn't make sense. For her not to tell everyone about the stuff she wrote on the whiteboard, I still am confused. So Ryan arrives next and everyone is excited to see him. I personally feel like people prefer Ryan over Jackie. So he comes in, Jackie waits until he comes to greet her. And then when he goes to pick up his drink, Jackie pulls him for a chat and she's wanting to know whether he's ready to apologize. And, she asks him, do you have anything to say? And it's sort of like, why? And I think the producers knew that this was about to kick off. So they sent the server to run and tell everyone that dinner's ready. Everybody comes to the table, and then once they're sat down, so people start asking Ryan what's happening. Ryan tells his truth. I'm happy he got his moment to speak his truth. He spoke about everything that happened when they went to Jackie's house. Jackie kept denying it. No, it didn't happen like that. No, that isn't what happened. And then he spoke about when she came over to his house, how she wrote the whiteboard. And for Jackie to continue to refuse this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Even the letter, for her to deny the letter doesn't make sense as well, because at the end of the day, Jeff saw the letter. If everybody else didn't see the letter, Jeff saw the letter. So Jeff knows exactly what was in the letter and what sort of triggered Ryan. So the idea that Jackie is trying to sort of minimize it and make it seem like it's nothing doesn't make sense to me. I love that everybody looked at her and was sort of questioning, what do you mean? You didn't say this. This doesn't make sense. How could you say that? That was disrespectful. I feel like because Jackie kept asking him, shall we go aside for a chat? Shall we go for a side for a chat? This is what I think. I think Jackie came into the sort of reception expecting everybody to empathize with her, and so when people didn't empathize with her, that's when she realized that she needed to get Ryan on her side. So this is why she was pulling him for a chat, and he refused to go for a chat, which left her with no option but to be confronted with everything that happened during this sort of homestays. I think had she had an opportunity to pull him aside, had she had an opportunity to sort of pacify him, then things would have gone her way. But sadly for her, people already know who she is. They've already seen how messy she can be. And I think this is why they were not buying it. You had Jeff speak up and sort of say, but Jackie, if you had written that letter to me, I would have left a long time ago. I would have left you. I wouldn't be here. And Jackie's sort of wondering, how can people say this? And Ryan took responsibility for his friends and said, I don't condone the loud voices. I don't condone that. But at the end of the day, my friends were passionate because they are my friends. They know who I am. They were trying to protect me. And for Jackie, so nobody has any problem with me being shouted at. And it's like, Jackie, first you said Ryan shouted at you. Now you say the friends. Yes, the friends shouted at you, but Ryan has never yelled at you. He's always maintained a calm voice. So the idea that you want to make a victim of yourself, I still don't get it and I don't understand it. And I'm happy that Ryan got his moment to speak up. You have Adrian and Dafina. Adrian and Dafina are saying they're happy, they had an amazing homestays, they're in a very good space, and it was a positive experience for them, and they're good. They didn't talk about her sister, which I'm surprised by, because at least they should have told everybody what the sister said, because the sister had a mouthful for Adrian. So the idea that they didn't say anything but focused on the mum and how happy her mum was to see Afina with Adrian doesn't make sense. It really doesn't, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of issues in this relationship. There's the issue of the child, which is the main issue. There's the issue of how Afina was treated by his sisters and his family, and the fact that Adrian was terrible to her at the start of their marriage. These are all things that need to be addressed. And so the idea that we've decided to sort of skip over that and just go straight to we're happy, we're good, we're in a very good space. I assume Afina has decided to bury her head in the sand. She's totally different to people like Jamie who have confronted their problems head on. She's decided to play ignorant and sort of allow things to play out however they play out. And I hope this doesn't end in tears for her, because this man might not be as serious about her as she is about him. Then you have TJ and Beth. They speak about their issue. The fact that, TJ is saying that at this point in time, he doesn't see his marriage working outside of the experience. And so you have, on her part, Beth is worried because at the end of the day, he didn't need to have sex with her if he knew there wasn't a connection. He didn't need to tell her family that there was hope if he knew that there was no hope. And the fact that he told his friends that there was no hope. So everyone is sort of staring at him side-eye, in the sense that you said you couldn't be intimate with her because you weren't there emotionally. So why did you do that? You have the guys like Jeff sort of saying to him, this is unacceptable. Even the experts are sort of taken aback by this. And it's like, well, to me, TJ comes across as a people pleaser. He comes across as a people pleaser. He's going to say and do anything to make everybody else around him happy. And so as long as everybody's happy, he is good. So the idea that he's told these people what he felt they needed to hear doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense to me, because I would have expected, him to be honest and told everybody the truth, including, Beth on her part before they went for homestays. When they wrote stay, he should have told her the truth, and he shouldn't have had any intimacy with her, but he did that. And so he kept calling her darling, and I don't know whether this is a pet name that we haven't heard of or whether this is something new. And for everyone to continue to take a sip every time he said that was a bit mean. He's been one of the sweetest guys in the experiment, so I don't get why people are saying that to him or are behaving in that manner. He doesn't deserve, all that negativity. I wish they had just been cute and sweet with him. So you have him sort of pull Beth aside for a chat, and they're sort of having this back and forth where they're asking each other, do you want to stay or do you want to leave? Beth says she wants to stay. TJ, on his part, he's happy to do whatever will make everybody happy. He's not saying the relationship is over, but he's saying he needs time to process what he's going through. I think a lot of people, what happens when they come to the end of the experiment, they sort of panic like, oh my God, this is where we are. What's going to happen? Am I suddenly going to take this person? Am I suddenly going to? And so in that panic, this is when the guy starts saying, but I don't have romantic feelings. And it's like, what is the meaning of romantic feelings? Do you understand what romantic feelings are towards your partner? It's not about you buying the most expensive gift and trying to sort of win your partner back, but it's about you sort of being there for your partner constantly, being emotionally intelligent, being supportive, being caring, making sure that you prioritize them and they always feel loved, cherished, adored by you. And if you don't have those things, then there's no point in you sort of committing to another week in the experiment, because it's not going anywhere. So Jackie, realizing she wasn't a part of the drama, she decides to pull Ryan for a conversation. Jeff is more into the Ryan and Jackie's marriage than he is into his own marriage. The fact that he keeps staring at them and wanting to know what is being said, everyone could tell Jackie was reaching the realization that she had pushed this man to the edge. I think Jackie had a feeling that in this experiment she could push Ryan as much as she wanted and he would never leave her. So the idea that suddenly he's telling her he's done and is ready to go, it's something that she didn't expect. So eventually Ryan, after refusing to speak to her for quite a while, agreed to go and have a conversation with her. They sit down for a chat, and Jackie is sort of saying to him, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were this upset. And it's like, what did you think? How far did you think you could push this man? I think Jackie realizing that this man was upset made her think, oh my God, I'm going to get a negative edit. So I'd better rein it in and I'd better make sure I make amends with this man. That way we can get to the end. I don't think she ever expected Ryan to reach his boiling point. I think she expected him to either kick off. That way she gets empathy from people that he's lost his temper. Maybe she expected a Paul situation, but for him to say what's on his chest and remain very calm about it was something she didn't expect. Going for a conversation was a waste of time because Ryan had made his decision that he was leaving and there's nothing that was going to change his mind. I have a feeling, just as a power move, Jackie is going to stay on the experiment because she said to him, you know, I'm so sorry, I never realized I was hurting you. Please forgive me. And she was trying to empathize. She tried to tempt him with her body. And it's like, Jackie, that's a bit tacky. That is a bit tacky. I don't know how she feels watching herself now. She must be embarrassed because it wasn't a good look. Ryan was adamant that, no, we are done. I'm done. We're done. And Jackie says, oh, no. Oh, can this not convince you to stay? Can that? And it's like, Jackie, please stop. Make it stop. It's becoming a bit too much. So I can't wait to see what's happening at the commitment ceremony because it seems the experts are going to call her out. And it's about time somebody called her out because she's really put this man through the ringer and everyone has had to have a front seat. Because at the start, I think a lot of people thought Ryan was the main problem. But now you can actually see that Jackie is much a problem as Ryan is. And she's actually way worse than he is. So hopefully the experts call her out. Hopefully whatever, she apologizes to him sincerely and they can both move on. Anyway, I can't wait for Sunday to see what is being said at the commitment ceremony because it seems the experts are about to call Jackie out. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 31. Bye guys.